Perfect. Good evening, everybody, and a very warm welcome to our Saturday night spiritual topic night, coming to you from the Paul Christian Spiritualist Church down on the sunny south coast. We've got a lovely gentleman for you tonight, and we'll be talking about his pathway through palmistry. We are focusing on mainly tonight, but I'm sure other areas of spirituality will come into that. Nuno, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Larry.
So nice of you to come on. A real pleasure. I think it's going to be fun tonight. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah.
How are you up there? Where are you exactly?
Well, I'm based in Manchester, around Salford.
Oh, I love
Really,
Manchester. Yeah, I love
up here,
Manchester.
up in the hills.
I I absolutely adore Manchester. I adore the city. I adore the people. My first time in Manchester, I was staying just off Piccadilly Gardens there.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And I got out of the hotel fairly early in the morning. And as with all big cities, there's a lot of homelessness about, and
Oh, yeah.
Manchester is not, immune to this. So there's plenty of people sleeping in shop doorways. But what really struck me was I was walking past people, and virtually everybody in the shop doorway, people had left like a cup of coffee or a little sandwich.
Mm.
And I just loved that. I thought that was awesome,
Yeah.
absolutely awesome. And also, and not being funny or derogatory here, a lot were incredibly well dressed because people were just going along with a bag of clothes and just going, "Here, have it."
Yeah.
I went, wow, that's it. My heart belongs to Manchester. I love you. Anyway, enough of me.
Yeah.
Let's get back to our guest. Very good evening, everybody. Oh, we got a fellow Mancunian in tonight, so watch out.
Oh,
Hello. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. Nuno, sir, the theme tonight
yeah.
is about palmistry. I mean, palmistry's been with us for centuries. It's always been in our fables, it's been in our culture, it's in our ancestry about
Yeah.
reading the palm.
Yeah.
How did you start on your pathway to palmistry, please?
Well, first of all, good evening, everybody. It's nice to be here on this show, and thank you very much, Laurie, for inviting me to come in along and be here with you. Of course, palmistry, it starts the beginning of the dawn. I think we start the beginning even before mankind, I think, because back in the old days, we going back centuries and centuries. We're talking about when the cavemen came alive, and they used to put the handprints of the palm in the caves, and still these days we still find in various different countries the palm, the definition of the palm in these caves, and people used to leave it there for a reason, just to leave it there for a mark to know that man is been exploring and man were there. But let's talk about palmistry. My path to palmistry. Sorry, my words didn't get out then. My path to palmistry starts back while when my grandma used to read palm, the palm to people, and I was not a believer, like as you believe. Probably many people, oh, he's a medium, he done all this and all that in the past, but I was not a believer. I was very skeptic towards spiritualism, towards palm reading, towards the crystal ball reading. And now these days, people ask me, what changed? What changed the boy? Well, we're talking about boy because I was a boy back then. And I must say, um, deeply, I lost loved ones. I lost my grandma. That was a big impact on my life. It was hard to see her go, but as much as she left a legacy behind, and I was very daunted to follow this legacy. I was like, should I fulfill my grandma's shoes? Should I, should I go and follow her path? But my grandma always worked different ways and different ways. I didn't want it to follow the same ways. I wanted to be my own kind, if you know what I mean, Laurie. And I
Very
wanted to
much.
be, uh, Nuno. That's it. Sorry, my computer keeps going back and forwards.
That's
And
okay.
and I I started. I could speak directly to palmistry, but I started as a healer. Really, I started in a healing process of basic of everything. I was low. I was. I was. I lost my grandma. I didn't have the world to live. I was like, where should I go from here? You know, and things start to open up. And I started as a. I never forgot. It was a Saturday, and I walked to a spiritual church in Salford. This is down in Manchester, and I walked there for the first time, and I got to say I fall in love. I fall in love because Spirit opened me many doors and opened friendships. But after that, things start to come along, and from there, healing gone to mediumship. I'm a platform mediumship, and now I thought to myself, mediumship comes with many in different shapes and sizes. Okay,
Yes.
and I do have
Yes.
to say, and I do have to say, many people call themselves mediums now these days. And I do have to say, what is mediumship? People these days need to give that proof after life. We got a lot of psychability. We got a lot of mental readings and all that. And I got to say, I my own chose to be a medium and pass messages from the world of spirit. Of course, people say to me, do you use psych abilities? Yes, I do. I don't lie. I'm here, okay? Because spirit, it will give you whatever they give you the tools. But after that, it came palmistry, and I saw a book, an old book that my grandma used to have, and I opened this book, and it was there, the palm. And it seems silly, Larry, but sometimes we walk every day, and we are humans, and we forgot we got these beautiful hands, and sometimes we forgot the lines that are in there, and we forgot that's something is written for a reason. Everything is written for a reason. Okay,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
as I go along and I talk, I got to say every human being's got free will.
Very true.
Free will, we cannot touch that. And free will, ladies and gentlemen, is the thing that most people think, oh, it's because of that choice that I made that I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And of course it is. And sometimes we think why we are in this position, why we doing this, is sometimes is the thought or the decisions that we take in life.
Yes. I could not agree more. And this is very interesting that you touch on the psychic abilities there.
Yes.
And for anybody watching, if you're unsure of the difference between psychic and evidential mediumship, psychic is, it would be like Nuno reading my energy, my aura, and picking up things directly from me, but not so much information or memories, but certainly state of being, state of presence, state of mind. Evidential mediumship, which we talk to and we need to see much more of on our platforms in our churches and centres, is where that information is coming from a spirit, a disingenuous third party. is talking through the medium. I say that, I know a lot of you know that, but it's amazing actually how many people don't quite click on. There's a comment here from Darren Bell, and he's just saying he must say he's fascinated with the amount of psychic diversity. Really good comment, Darren, because yes, you can read auras, you can just pick up things from people. We've got a local medium, and she's so good at just watching the aura, you daren't fib. Because if you fib, it's like
Yeah.
this Felicia Beacon. So, Nina, when you are working on palmistry, do you work to a pattern of saying, well, this line is, we're all familiar with our lifeline, etc. Reading just that information, I better not do that, I might say something terrible about me. Just reading what is there, or do you sort of start bringing in your psychic abilities as well to complement that reading?
Well, Larry, that's a good question, because people many times asking me, do you use your psychic abilities of your mediumship? And I do have to say, sometimes it depends on the reading, depends on the person, because sometimes that person really needs that comfort. I never forget a lad that he was asking me for a palm reading, and until today I get the goosebumps. I still goosing, And this lad, oh, can you do me this reading? And he was quite muscular, and I do my palm readings, ladies and gentlemen, through Messenger or through WhatsApp or through whatever, or even social media, because many times, with this coronavirus, it's very difficult to get to people's house, and
Yeah.
some people are afraid of that. And this lad, he was quite physical, he's quite strong lad. Oh, I never had the palm reading. Come on, give me a palm reading, Nuno. I can see you're a psychic, you're medium, and all that. And I say, look, his name is Handy. I never forget. He's still on my Facebook. And I start reading his palm. And on we start with we got the love line, which is up here. Okay, everybody. We start. Probably
You
I
know,
don't need to move.
everybody is doing this at home now.
So we got the love line, which is based here. Okay, love line.
Oops. You might have lent on something there, Nuno. You seem to have
Yeah,
frozen. That's it. Thank
yeah,
you.
there you are. Love line, and you got the spine line when he starts here, okay, and it goes around this bit of your palm, and you got
Yeah.
the headline, which is across your this thumb area, which it comes from the top here and goes down here. Okay, lifeline. I picked on this gentleman that he had a passing. Now, with passings, you can see sometimes is very small lines and touches you. They are in a vertical, and they touch your lifeline. Okay, and sometimes is your grandma, sometimes is your parents, sometimes who you ever you love. And I could see it was sorry, it was a baby there, and this baby, I do feel it was his child, it was his first child. And Laurie, I never forget, I told him, I got a child here from spirit, and he comes to say he was your only son. He burst into
Mm.
tears.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
guy just burst into tears. It was so, so intention. And from there I start to into my mediumship. I do have to say, sometimes spirit does come through, and I have to stop the palm reading, and I have to go to spirit mode. And that's when
Yeah.
it gets complicated, because sometimes you need to stop what you do and go into that direction. And yeah, sometimes I use my psych ability, sometimes I use my mediumship. Is there?
Excellent. I really get that. You did mention crystal balls earlier,
Yeah,
and I have no idea how it came to be, but I was in possession of one many, many, many years ago,
yeah,
and I was very skeptical. Um, I just thought, no, no, end of the pier stuff.
yeah,
No, not doing that.
yeah.
However, very interesting because as I was developing my evidential mediumship through circles, I just happened to pick it up one day and I got it almost straight away. The crystal ball gave my physical mind something to focus on
Mm-hmm.
and get it out of the way that my higher mind could start to pick up, unbeknownst to me at that time, psychically, and then going on to spiritually through the evidential mediumship. So I get that. I get that.
Yeah,
But with that, actually, the whole, even though you're doing it online, I assume that
mm-hmm.
pre-COVID that you would actually hold the hand, and I mean
Y-
that would link in very nicely as well with your start as a healer, because that is always a wonderful introduction to
yeah, yeah,
spiritual
yeah,
matters.
yeah.
It's one of the best because it's the one without any ego attached. You know?
Definitely, definitely. And I must say, Larry, people think palmistry is linked to crystal balls, and I want to make a point here. Crystal ball is not linked to palmistry. The palmistry is one thing, okay, and the crystal ball is another thing. So if you go to somewhere to someone and they got the crystal ball and they ask you for your palm, I will just get up and leave. Okay, because it's nothing to do with that. Palmistry, you can read from past, present, and future. Okay, so I start always with the left hand for past, and I try to get as much from my clients as I can get from their past and what happened. Okay, and the present you leads to where they are stage in this moment, which your right hand is your most permanent hand. And I do have to say, I have to give the palm description. Sometimes I have to give the lines in there, what they mean, and you go into the detail. And can we talk prices in here, Laurie? Or
Yeah,
you?
yeah, yeah. It's
Some
a
people.
very open format.
Okay, I do charge £15 for half an hour reading. You know, it's pretty basic reading, but it tells you a lot. Okay, many people, why do you charge only £50? But it's like Larry say, I'm not here for money. I'm not here for ego. I'm here to make people happy and to make sure that people get as much as they can from their palm reading. Okay.
Yeah, and actually, that is very interesting just to hear the price because I have no idea. I do now. Just to clarify, you said 15, 15, yeah?
Yeah, 15.
All right, okay. Yeah, as I say, that is very interesting because a lot of these esoteric gifts and
Yeah.
practices, they're very good at advertising them. They're very reluctant to actually start talking pounds, shillings, and pence, as my mum would say.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah, I know that.
yeah.
Definitely.
Somebody you know, lovely Sue Townsend.
Oh, hello, Sue. Nice to see you all.
So she's asking, do you take into account shape of palm of hand and shape of fingers and nails too?
Well, I do take the shape of the fingers. I'm not going into the nails. Okay, first of all, I do. I go into the shape of the palm and to the fingers. Yes, okay, because it gets too much when you go into detail. Okay, and you could spend hours and hours. And it's like palmistry is like spirituality. You open another platforms to another thing. And I got to say, Larry, it's not only about you cannot only bring the palmistry here. You got astrology coming in as well, and you can link all this with your palm reading. And I'm willing to study astrology. Sorry, because I'm really interesting. of what is aligned with our sign and with our palm and with all this that is going on.
Yeah, I agree. I know some absolutely wonderful astrologers. And again, when I first heard of it, I was a little bit, yeah, okay, Jonathan Kane, a Daily Mail time. But actually, when you see the work that goes into it, and from my perspective, tagging it into spiritualism and my understanding of the lives that we lead, or the one life in the many different shapes, I thought, you know what, it makes perfect sense, that you coming in under a sign. If you were going to come here again to be a great orator, you wouldn't come in under a sign that's known to be a very quiet and shy person. You would come in with these different, not abilities, but characteristics of your physical body, governed
Definitely.
by astrological. I always equate it, if you were going to go, if I was going, we are down on the south coast here. If I go any way that way, I'll just get wet. But I can go up country that way. And so I always say, it makes sense to me, because if I was going to go to Scotland, I wouldn't buy a moped. I would find something suitable for that journey. And
Oh,
I apply
definitely.
that using astrology and the traits within the astrological charts
Yeah,
to our
definitely.
being here, to enable us to undertake the journey that we've already prepared for. Brilliant. I'm loving this. DC from sunny Devon. Just say
What?
it. Would it make a difference if somebody was left-handed? Because you said about the right and the left, the past and the
Oh,
present,
that's a good
future.
question. I never had this question before.
Yes, Stacey does tend to drag them out. She has far too much time in her hands.
I will say I don't think it makes a change, okay? Because when I study both hands, because as many clients say, how do you read the palm? So what I do is, if you want a reading or if you want to book a palm reading, what I ask is for a clear picture of your both palms, and it needs to be clear because of what I need to zoom in. I need to put it on a computer, and I need to read them lines. I need to go through each single thing, and it takes me about a couple of good hours and probably even 1 or 2 days to put everything into paper and write everything down. And after, I will book you in or let you know when it's ready, and after that I will tell you what is your lines mean and what you coming for you, blah de blah blah de blah. And many people get shocked, but what I can find out on them lines. And it's happened to a lady that I was reading the palm, and I say to her, well, really, I can see in the beginning here around your age of 10. And I always, I'm a little bit with age, I'm on and off, because the lines can sometimes trick you, and I go between the 10 and 11 mark of your age. I got an accident in here, and I must say this accident took you now to this journey that you are now, because I do feel you got some problems in your lower back, or do you I do feel some mobility of with your legs. And she goes like that, oh, I do suffer with my legs and all that, but I don't remember the accident. And I say, well, will you find out with somebody who knows about parents or anything like that? And she came back to me a few days later and say to me, no, no, you're right, I had the accident with my parents in she was in a back car, in a car seat, yeah, and she was wearing a seat belt, and still to this day she suffers with lower back and all them problems.
And that is just pure. Obviously, because if people are scanning their palm prints to you, there is no physical contact there whatsoever. How
Yeah,
fascinating. How
yeah.
fascinating. I am so intrigued by this time. Obviously, none of us wish to be in this situation, but we are. and I'm just so intrigued at the things that are doable that we would never, if I went back to 2018 with you and said, hey, Nuno, I'm going to email you a picture of my hand and you read it, you would probably go, no, no. Cut your
No,
hands
back in
off, put them in an envelope and send them up,
exactly, yeah, exactly. Well,
How interesting.
yeah, the palmistry is very interesting, and is like many people say, palmistry opens, like I said, to many taboos, many questions, and many another lines to study, and we could be talking for ages here, and you never end up with an end up with another question and another
Yeah.
question, and you
Yeah,
open
that's
another
good.
question. You know what I mean? And we could be all here for hours.
This is what I love about all the esoteric arts. They are
Mm,
they are gateways
mm,
for a journey.
mm.
Sometimes they're approached with the goal and destination,
Can I just ask you
and
a question? A question. Sorry, Laurie. Is
it's
many
not based on
people?
my hands, is it?
No, no, no.
That's right. Yeah, ask away, mate.
I do feel fascinated because we got Blackpool here, and we go to promenade Blackpool, and we see these gypsy ladies on the promenade reading the palm. And I got so far. I don't know if you got that down south there, if you still got this uh gypsy. And I went back a couple years to read my palm. I never forgot. And she said to me, it's 20 quid, love, to read your palm. And she was wearing a scarf. She had the crystal ball in front of her. I never forget. And she said, I got the 20 quid on my left hand. Oh, keep hold of it. Just open your right hand. And she look at my right hand, and she gave me a reading of 5 minutes.
Wow.
5 minutes, 20 quid. And off you go later. And I never forget this day, that day, I'm not going there anymore.
I used to work for quite a high class restaurant and dining rooms. And every year we would have this big party laid on by the hotel chain. And they had a palmist there in the grounds of if it was grounds of a castle. I mean, he really used to look after us. And I went in there, and the lady wasn't there, but all her gear was, and maybe just one or two glasses of wine. I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, moving on. That's not important. Lawrence ended up with the turban on, sat there, and people were coming in. I have no idea what I was telling them, but people were saying, "Oh, it's really good." I'm like, the people from my hotel were going, "Lawrence, get out now." Anyway, it's enough of my history. Um, Going back very quickly there, Darren's picked up on about the crystal ball. I think it's picked up there on my statement about the crystal ball gives the physical mind something to fix on, because you're saying, so the mind uses the ball externally, and palmistry would be more natural.
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah,
Definitely. Definitely. Thank you very much, Darren. Yeah, many people is do have the they ideas about crystal ball and palmistry, but that explains most of it. More natural, more into it, more deep.
yeah. Wonderful. Thank you for asking that, Darren. Julie Caswell is asking here. Listen, I can say this because my mum and dad were both South Londoners. All right, so watch out for the South Londoners because they're really mean.
Oh my god, I'm watching out.
And I don't mean mean with the money; they're just mean. So the lovely
um,
Julie.
yeah, is Julie with the past lives is pretty much uh we're going into hypnos, isn't he? I cannot hypnose people to go to past life, and I will not lie about that, because yes, the palm reading is all about what's going on in this life, really, and it's nothing about your past life. I do so say so sorry about that.
Yeah. No, no. Listen, the honesty and integrity is so important in any of these esoteric arts. If you cannot be honest, if you cannot be open, you should not be doing it. In my book, very much
Oh
so.
yeah, definitely, yeah. Same as my book.
Yeah. So, hmm. Darren again asking, does palmistry align with the stars on a daily reading? That's interesting.
They do.
They do.
The astrology comes in very strong with the stars and everything else.
Right.
That's
So
why
we
I'm
need.
that's why I'm trying to get the astrology in. I'm now in the procedure into study.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be graduate or fully, understandable of astrology in 1 week or 1 month or
Yeah.
1 year, but astrology comes in with your daily alignment. Is I do apologize, ladies. He's like a woman. They no, they wake
Oh
up
God.
sometimes. They're happy. They're sometimes moody. Sometimes it's different days. He does alignment. I do have to say, sometimes he does. It's like when we wake up, we think, okay, it's gonna be a good day today, and we feel positive, and we feel like good. We get out of our houses, of our that door, and we come back home at the end of the day. Oh my God! Can you swear here? No, I
Not
better not.
not the
Not
very
to,
hard words. No.
just say, oh shit, it's been a hard day. The normal, swear word. It's been a shitty day. You know what I mean? And I got to say, that is in alignment there, because sometimes it meant to happen. It meant to happen for you. Sometimes in spirituality, we say it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
Okay, and the stars and the palmistry comes in together. Okay, it's like the
Yeah.
weather. Sometimes it's raining, sometimes it's sun shining, sometimes it's windy.
Very true. Very true. Georgie Morris is asking, not quite sure, what does the M that is on the palm of both hands mean? The M.
The M, okay, the M on both palms, it means very predominant hand, and very predominant person, very controlling as well. Okay, and at the same time, this person can be, um, they can use your psych abilities a lot. Okay, so
Would it work if I just drew an M now on both of my hands?
yeah,
Hang
so
on, I
people
have a
can.
pen. Thank you, Georgie. I haven't got any. Oh. Ali is asking here, do you use any tools to incorporate the palm reading?
Yes, I
Uh,
do use how's it go? Like magnifying glass, and I use a ruler, because the ruler and the magnifying glass is to spot them little lines. Because even zooming in here now is very. Can anybody see all at the end here? Can you all see? I'm gonna zoom in. Can you
yeah,
see all them lines? Is more in depth in there, okay? And as you come here, is all like fading lines in there, and it's very hard to read when you're doing the reading. It's very hard to read, so I need that magnifying glass just to go in, get closer and closer. So what I do, I zoom in my computer. I go with a magnifying glass. Sometimes I go because I'm blind as a bat as well. I put my ruler, and sometimes it tells me the exactly time and the exactly age that it happened. The ruler as well. So that's how fascinating it is.
That is amazing. Yeah, that is amazing. Lovely Mary Dixie here from Wimbledon. Just saying her late husband read palms and used to say that the dominant hand, i.e., the hand which you write with, is the one which shows the present and indicates the future. The other hand is what you were born with and is unchanging.
Very
So,
true.
yeah, yeah,
Very true.
brilliant,
Thank
brilliant,
you,
brilliant.
Mary. Fantastic.
Yeah, lovely Mary. Ooh, good one. Georgie again. Do the lines on your hands change with age or circumstances?
Um, well, I'm gonna say something to you, Lawrence. I I have my tutor, and she was a Hindu, and when we trained, and she said to me, I never come across, and I have read already 40 pounds till this day, and she have read more than me, as you know, probably 300 or 1000. And she said to me, you will come across people's poems, and you read them in the past and you read them in now, and you see them changes, and them changes you will will come to the circumstances when people, like I say, free will, take decisions.
Ah,
So
right.
right, yes. So
Yeah,
I could say, Larry, this is gonna happen for you tomorrow, and you say, fantastic. Tomorrow you wake up, you take a different path, you take a different way, you think different. Okay, I'm not gonna do this today. That is your free will, and that will
yeah,
change completely. Okay.
yeah. I get that. I get. Obviously, a lot of people have fascinations with anything relating to their own personal future, but I am very much of the persuasion. You know, if I said to you, Nuno, in 5 years' time, do you know what? You're going to be so happy. You're going to have a wonderful house.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Brilliant family. Money will not be a worry with you. By saying that, I might have changed your path because you could then take the view of thinking, oh, great, I'll just sit back and wait for it all to happen. Yeah.
Exactly. And I do say in the beginning of my readings, palmistry is fortune telling. Okay,
Yeah.
palmistry, as a medium, I will not predict your future. As a palmistry reader, I will not predict your future,
Brilliant.
because every day is a step. Every day is a new beginning. Every day we take is a new way we think and we do things. I only can say, probably I see in your future. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. It doesn't mean that will state there, because if I say that's going to happen, or you won the Euro Millions, or you're going to be rich, yeah,
Yeah.
that person put that seed in a mental stage of theirs, and they will be knocking on my door, or they'll be messaging me at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning when I'm asleep. What is my Euro Millions? What is my house? What is my car? And I don't want to, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to tell people that, because that's misleading that person. You know what I mean? Is
Yeah.
that person will be there waiting I tell you something, Lawrence. I had a reading, and I never forget a reading from a medium before I was a medium. And I do have to say, people to these days, you know what? I'm not a medium. I'm extra large. I'm a bubbly person. I carry a lot a lot of weight with me, so I'm extra large all the time. Yeah, and until this day, this medium say, you know what, Nuno, I can see you in your 30s, 40s. You're gonna be having your house. You're gonna have wife, 3 kids, and all that. Until today, I'm still waiting for the house, 3 kids, and all this.
I know, and it is. I hear it often on from platforms
Oh yeah,
everywhere
oh yeah.
where mediums say to people, "You could be a medium," and I just think, "Oh, please don't say that." I always, if that energy comes through when I'm working as an evidential medium, that there, I say, well, there is potential there. Spirit are very interested in you. Go out and find out why they're interested in you, rather than just, oh yeah, you could be a medium. Because I have actually seen instances where people have been told that, and literally 2 days later they're running around giving messages, and you just think, oh. Anyway, Ali Unsworth just asked a question, and Nuno just answered it. He must be a very good medium. Because he answered that before you put it up, love. And the answer is new.
New,
New.
new.
Bless you, Ali. Couple of questions here, very similar vein. Oh, excuse the thread. Melissa and Jennifer are asking the same question. Does the lifeline indicate the length of life or the quality of life?
Both, no. Okay, the the lifeline means achievements. It means you can see people, what you achieved or what you going through, or you never seen the quality or the length of life. The length of life we're going to focus at the second. So we got the lifeline here, and oh, I hate these camera going. You got
It's
upside
the other
down.
way round.
Yeah, and we got the fate line is where you see your life, okay, which is comes from this finger and it goes down here, or it comes at the bottom here and it goes straight to your finger. So if your line, I'm gonna say, stops here, okay, I'll say here is when we got the 30s and 35s at the middle here, everybody. And when your lifeline, when this fate line touches here, I will say we got to a very good age of 55, 56. Okay. And when we go above that line and touch this line here, is when we touch is on 70s, 70s towards our 80s. Okay. And if you're lucky enough, the line will touch there. And there, ladies and gentlemen, we are 100 years old. And if we touch that line there, I'll be happy to see you there.
Brilliantly answered. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Serena, talking to us, I think from Denmark.
Oh yeah, can see
Is
that. Fantastic, yeah.
possible to make a physical anamnesis via the palm line? So that's like a medical history, if I remember correctly. Can you see which parts of the body are under stress or will be in the future?
Wow.
Because that would,
Yes,
yeah.
that's a very good question. And like I say, Serena, um, many palm readers are, and I've seen this in America. I've read a lady in America. She was a doctor, really based on spine, head, and all that. And she was graduated on palm reading and all that, and she could tell, physically what was wrong or what parts of the body could be affected. But unfortunately, Serena, I'm still in the lower level. I'm still learning. And like I said to Larry, I want to develop to the astrology, because my spirituality is bringing the astrology around me, and I do
Yeah.
feel astrology. will be the next path, forward from this palm reading. And once I graduate from that astrology kind of level, but uh, many people say, will you graduate? No, you will learn every day, because astrology is like mediumship. Every day we'll learn something new. So I got to say, once it's done, I'll be saying, well, ladies and gentlemen, I finally can speak about astrology this time. And that's another
Brilliant.
debate, Lawrence, for another time, isn't it?
That... Stay online after. I'll get the gallery out. But yeah,
Definitely.
drifting off topic slightly here, but with the astrological side coming in, it is very interesting, because this one of the great gifts I found with astrology. It gives you very much the environment that we're going to be in. It may not be personal to you, but very much the environment. And probably the one that everybody is familiar with is when Mercury is retrograde and communications become difficult. And it can be one-to-one communication, electronic communication, but any form of communication can be hit by the Mercury retrograde. And if
Mhm.
you are working with the astrology side as well as your spiritual side or your palmistry side, you can predict areas and just think, yeah, August is just going to be pants. I may as well go on holiday, because it's all going to be against
Definitely,
me.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Excellent, 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 excellent. The oh, Ali, nice one. Do you read your own palm?
You know what? Yes. And I got to say, I'll be honest with you, I've read my own palm in the beginning of when I graduate, sorry. When I've graduated, my tutor say, you read your own palm, and you should have five volunteers to read the palms, because you need to do assessment and all that to send it through. Okay.
Yeah,
So I read my own palm. I sent it through. I read these five palms, and I've sent it through. And I was shocked to read my own palm, and I found myself that I saw my divorce coming in. I saw the divorce that I was going through, which I'm going at this moment and the age. But sometimes you get skeptic about it,
yeah,
because you don't want to think about, okay, that's gonna happen. But he was there, Lawrence, and you cannot do
yeah,
anything about it.
yeah. How interesting. Lovely Tim Abbott is a fine gentleman. If an individual had an accident and scarred their hand, would that change no, you speak English? Change the information within a sitting?
Um, yes, because sometimes if the scar is there, it stops to see or to read that line.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody else just put a comment up about, they continually burned their hands, which has affected the abilities there.
Yeah,
So yes,
because
lovely.
I remember my tutor saying she got somebody. Sorry, Lawrence.
No, no,
Somebody
no.
come.
It's your evening. Don't
Somebody.
apologise to me. Tell me to shut up.
Somebody, and she's a brilliant tutor, and she said, no, no, once I got this gentleman, and this gentleman sent these pictures of his hand palm, and it completely burned, and I could not read his palm. And I felt sorry, and she felt sorry, because she could not give that information out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yes. It must be upsetting for the person as well, not just feeling excluded because of an accident.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, interesting. Thank you, Tim. Lovely question. Lovely Arisha. I had the pleasure of her company last week. Just a little warning, astrology is a wonderful skill, but very hard work when studying.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with that. We had
Uh,
the
I am agreeing with that because I'm just starting to going into it, and I found so petrifying at this moment in time
mm,
because I'm like, yes and no, but Spirit wants me to go ahead and let's see what we I'm gonna end up with.
it is fascinating. We used to have the one of the local astrologers societies meet here, and I used to sit in and thinking I knew a little about astrology, and actually I didn't know anything about astrology because they were talking, and I'm going, I haven't got a clue.
Yeah,
I have no idea what you're talking about. But
yeah.
yeah, fascinating. The end result was amazing, absolutely amazing. No, no. So your next step then will be to work on the astrology side, from what you said there. You're also running currently and just reopened, so congratulations, the White Swan Spiritual Group up there.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah.
very well dane. I know you were very active online as well, weren't you, during the lockdowns?
Yes, we've been
Yeah,
very active through lockdown on Zoom because we wanted to give like you know a company because people out there it didn't have this company, and I had a couple of ladies sitting on this lockdown about 80, 70 something, bless her, and she called Plum, and she called me one day crying, I would love to come to Zoom, but I don't know how to use my technology. And that broke my heart, Laurie. i
yeah.
went I went my way. I didn't go to a house. I just rang her on Messenger. We spent like 5 to 6 hours just for her to learn how to work with Zoom. And
Oh,
she
well
was
done.
so happy to come on Zoom and to be on Zoom with us for this couple of months of lockdown. And she's just came out on the first night, and she was so happy to see us and give us a massive hug and be there.
Yeah, yeah. Very, so important. The more the churches and centres are opening, it can only be for the betterment of everybody because the technological side has been awesome and it will continue, in my estimation.
Yeah,
It certainly has a great deal of potential there to be used intelligently, but you cannot be sitting in your church and centre and just being in that environment.
exactly.
No. Loved it. Loved it. Thank you.
Thank
Have you got
you.
anything closing comments? And anybody watching, if you've got any more questions out there, just pop them in the comments box. But back over to you, No.
Well, I got to say, thank you, Larry, again, once again, to bringing me over here. It was interesting to see such a lovely, questions, and you bring me out of my shell because sometimes you get these questions and you get panicking to answering, and no, and it was lovely question. It was a one question there that I never had. I remember you coming up, and I never had that question before, and I must say he opens your eyes, he opens your communication skills as well, and he opens your knowledge as you go along, definitely, because you from down south, Laurie, down London. I'm from Manchester. Never met these people who are online, and must say he opens the communication between this beautiful world. And if you want to follow me, I'm in on Facebook, Nuno Bastos, or if you want to follow my one of my groups, I got the White Swan Spiritual Group, which is the center group. We call it the center, but it's still a group at the moment. We are back open with mediumship and all that. But I have my own working page, which is Healing is Believing, and it's all about healing, about asking for yourselves, about my own work as well. I do sometime live feeds in there, do a little bit of palm reading in advertisement. I want to do a workshop through Zoom on palm. Is coming through soon, will cost £13 for the day. It will include talking about palmistry, a little bit of organization with understanding the palm, and even putting these people, the guests, working with palmistry if they want to, or if they feel comfortable at the end of the workshop. That will be
Excellent.
interesting. So I'm just putting together out there. If people are interested, is a £13. It will be done through the week because I work weekends. Do
Okay.
apologize. So
When you've got that advertising set up and everything, please do share it onto our page
I
because
will
quite a
do.
few people will be interested. We have a question here from lovely Tim. So he's asking, in psychic practices such as tarot card reading, crystal ball reading, the spiritual senses are part of the experience. For example, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience. Do any of the spiritual senses for you come into play during your palmistry?
Well, this is answers one of I did answer this question before, because I do have to say he opens, like I said to you with this lad, he opens the mediumship side of things, and the clairs he will open as you reading that person's palm. Sometimes you need to stop your reading and give that message, because it will be there, spirit will be there. I cannot stop that communication of mediumship coming in, because I was a medium before being a palmistry reader. And
Yeah.
sometimes is when that person is in need, or is in that desperate need of a message, I will give it away
Yeah.
for
Brilliant.
free.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Nuno, it's been absolute delight, absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. It's been a real joy talking to you. Are you from Madeira, is it?
No, I'm from Portugal originally.
Portugal.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. I love your energy. It's really, really good.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you, everybody, joining us tonight, whether you're watching tonight live or watching in the future on catch up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Nuno will post some contact details, which I will share out on my page, and also details of the workshop that he was talking about.
Yeah.
Just next weekend, the 3rd of July, during the day at 3 p.m. live here within the church. So this is for people who are local to us in the area. We have Brian Walker back, and he will be doing a live demonstration of trance healing. So that's here at Poole Church, 3 p.m. next Saturday, the 3rd of July. And in the evening, we have a Spiritualism Lyceum night. So the topic is all about spiritualism. And we have the lovely Karen Wood, who will be our guest and giving a talk. So, Nuno, sir, thank you. Thank you.
It's been my pleasure to come here and to answer all your questions, guys, as well. Thank you very much for being patient with me. I am around if you wanna pop any question. Sometimes I will not answer, because sometimes I have my private life as well. But if I do not answer,
You're
I
not
will.
allowed a private life.
Believe me, sometimes it's just one question after another. Can you do this? Can you do that? Do you see this? Do you see that? And I'm like, stop it.
Thankfully, very rare, but occasionally I do get the odd message asking a question, and then literally 3 minutes later, you get something else come through going, well, I don't live on Facebook, love.
Exactly.
No. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Lots of love
You
to
too.
you and everybody up in Manchester.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Larry.
Thank you, everybody. Have a
Thank you.
wonderful
Bye.